Chapter 16. Home.
So much has grown, but there are no roots, no herbs.
What are you looking at, Jonathan?
The garden is in disorder. I want it to be right again, but I don't know how to do it.
Before I became prior, I thought the same about Kingsbridge.
Well, what did you do?
I cleaned up.
Where do we start?
Some plants are weeds and must go before we can plant new seeds.
What are weeds?
They take away what the other plants need to grow. Light, water, room.
What do we do?
Pluck them. They look a lot like every other plant, so you need to learn how to tell them apart. Here, you see those? They're called wood sorrel. Let's pluck only those for now.
I'll do it.
If you insist. Make sure to pull out all of the thin roots.
And now what do I do?
For plants to take root, the soil must be loose and fertile.
So, may I dig now? Done. What's next?
Stay here. I'll be right back.
Where are we going? Oh, Milius and Cuthbert are both gone. How empty the kitchen feels without them.
Now, where did you put them? Ah, here they are.
The beech nuts I gave to Milius a long time ago. Nice. That's cool.
I found these nuts for you. Remember, Milius, you always said that one day there will be a beech tree growing here. I think it's about time.
Nice little throwback. Aww.
What did you bring?
Do you remember Milius? A kind man with a warm smile. Well, he told me to give you this.
Wow!
Now we just have to wait.
All right.
Waited enough.
How long?
Too long for us to keep sitting here.
That long.
Some things take time. And only with patience will you receive your reward.
Why do we have to do all these things if all we had to do is wait?
Simply waiting would not have been enough, Jonathan. You just paved the way for things to take their course. They are happening right now. And in a few days' time, we will return and see the first green leaf of something new.
Oh. Is it God's reward?
Maybe.
Does he make things grow?
You made it.
No. I just planted the seed.
Now you can fetch some water from the rain barrel.
But that water's smelly. It's been there forever. There are many trees by the river. I bet that water's better.
That's a longer walk, though.
I don't mind. The distance is worth it.
Maybe you're right. It is worth it. Let's walk together then.
But I'll carry the bucket.
What a nice little scene.
Why isn't Remigius holding the sermon? What's gotten into Philip?
Oh, it's all wild and overgrown now.
Our church lies in ruins.
Once more.
But all of this, these dire times, have revealed something important to us. Something that, maybe until today, I wasn't aware of.
What do you mean?
You've been praying in these ruins. But you've been praying like you always did, in humbleness. We don't need a church for prayer.
Where else are we going to pray? The chapter house?
The church is where God resides.
God doesn't work in the ways we might assume. Today, Jonathan tended to our garden to make it beautiful again. And he told me of things I almost had forgotten. Good and evil are not in here or out there. They are within each of us. God made us in his image. Thus, we carry the godly spark within us. But we have witnessed that man can have the devil in his heart as well. Prayer needs no special place, for we are his church. In our actions, he exists.
We are God's temple.
No man is closer to God than any other man. Whether you pray in church or on the streets of our towns,
Hold up there, Martin
whether you're a
Luther.
man, woman, monk, or bishop,
Philip, look outside.
Starting the Protestant
You
movement
have
like
to see them.
400 years early.
You've got to see the horses and the colours.
Jonathan, Now, what's going on?
I heard noises and I went to look.
Calm down. What happened?
But the priest said they brought a miracle.
Who? What? What priest?
Step right up, brothers and sisters. For you are about to see something that will change your life.
Who is that?
They brought us a miracle.
A miracle?
Jack and
Don't
Aliena,
be
huh?
shy. There is no danger, just awe that awaits you here. Ah, you must be Prior Philip. I am Brother Reynold. I have been sent by the Archbishop of Canterbury. Here is his letter, in case you have reasonable doubt.
I like how Jack and Aliena don't believe in this at all, but still like keep out the charade and make a living off it. Or rather, they know how the statue works. Letter dated January 20th, 1141. Philip of Kingsbridge. I hereby implore you to accept the grace of the Weeping Madonna, for she has chosen Kingsbridge as her shrine. After the rumors of a miracle had come to my ears, I had called for the procession to see me. I then saw it with my own eyes. She is real. I have claimed the miracle for England, and had intended to retain her in Winchester. The guardians of the Madonna have convinced me otherwise. They have come to England only to support the rebuilding of Kingsbridge. You have my blessings, Philip of Kingsbridge. I expect you to restore your priory to be worthy of the Holy Madonna. Theobald, Archbishop of Canterbury.
We've been charged to accompany the Weeping Madonna. She is to replace the loss of your relic, Saint Adolphus the Martyr, who was taken from you, I hear, with brute force.
What?
On her travel from far away Africa, she has collected donations to reward Kingsbridge for your faith in her and in the Lord.
I can't believe this. What is all this?
You do believe. That is why she came. And that is why you shall witness her miracle for yourself today. The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa. A baptized Saracen was her former guardian, and I and the custodians of the Holy Virgin were chosen to take her on a journey.
What country did you say you came from?
We have traveled all the way from a place of wonders too marvelous to behold. The faraway land of Africa.
Africa has many countries, I've heard.
Yes, it does. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless,
Flim's a smart
I
man.
carried her for many miles.
And an inquiring
Many
man.
bore witness to her miracle before it dawned upon me.
What's it like in Africa?
The sun is always shining, and miracles happen every day. It's a land of great deserts, fig trees, and creatures that an Englishman can't even dream up.
Like these horses. Are they horses?
They are not. To you, they might resemble horses.
What?
But the name the Africans have for these creatures is impossible to pronounce, even for me. But I wondered. A shrine should be her shelter.
We're like a small child.
This time, it was the Madonna herself who answered my
What's the
questions.
fig?
You mentioned there were fig trees in Africa. What are they?
It's a fruit, of course. It looks like a strawberry and tastes like a pear.
The scripture mentions these figs, and they sound nothing like that. Why is that?
No two apples look or taste alike. The same goes for figs, and doubly so.
I'm getting the impression that this man has never even been to Africa.
Just a
Why would he lie?
figment of his imagination.
She
huh?
said, "You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge." So we set off, with the blessing of Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. And along the road, from Paris, across Normandy, over the sea, and all the way to Kingsbridge. Devout Christians have given money for the building of the Church of the Weeping Madonna.
Excuse me. Don't interrupt.
The Weeping Madonna has chosen you.
Hey!
You heard me correctly. The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa.
Doesn't trust this either. Always opposed to the new and to everything I say.
Brother Reynold. I've heard of a Reynold from the coast. A scheming drunkard who lives as a traveling monk.
You think that's him?
Perhaps it is, perhaps it's not. I don't trust him either way.
Baptized?
Demetrius is tall, damn. Never
I
noticed.
don't like this. There's something fishy about him.
I knew not her powers or
Jonathan?
destination.
They're about to show the miracle. Look.
Nevertheless, I carried her for many
Did you hear what he
miles.
said? What is this place? Africa.
Many bore witness to her miracle before it dawned upon me.
My dear people!
Oh, I'm so excited to see a true miracle.
Did you hear that? The Madonna has chosen us.
She's come all the way from Africa.
She wanted to go home.
Hope in their eyes, already won over, might be dangerous. Seems optimistic, curious as ever, usually not the naive type.
What do you think of this procession?
They seem well intended, and we could use the money.
But I wondered, what shrine should be her shelter?
Please, everyone.
Shh! We want to listen to his story.
This time, it was the Madonna herself.
Remigius
who
thinks
answered
this
my
is
question.
suspicious. This time, he might be right.
She said, "You shall build me a new church
He's
in
too excited.
Kingsbridge."
I don't like this.
So we set off, with the blessing of Archbishop
Strange
Theobald of
animals.
Canterbury,
Oh, they're
and along the
dressed up
road
horses though,
from
right?
Paris,
2 bumps on their
across
back.
Normandy,
Camels.
over the sea, and all the way to Kingsbridge. Devout
They look
Christians
almost
have
like
given
horses.
money for the building of the Church of the Weeping Madonna.
Hollow. Feels like a wicker basket covered in
This
felt.
church
Yeah, that's
of
because it is.
Kingsbridge. The Weeping Madonna.
Never
has
seen them
chosen
before.
you,
Familiar garbs must be
all
part of their
of you.
procession.
Tell me the truth. Why are you here?
We are guardians of the Holy Virgin that sheds tears. We were appointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury, but it was the Holy Virgin herself who chose us while she travelled through Europe.
Oh, yes. How did that happen?
She speaks without words.
Now, brothers
So you're telling me
and
this
sisters,
is a real miracle?
I
Oh, there's a
A
little
miracle,
kid.
a blessing,
has not
Tommy.
a
been
wonder.
kind to Kingsbridge, but it is in places like these, and in dark times like these, that
Now it's
God's
not the
light
time, nobody
shines
inside. Alright.
brightest. And along the road from Paris,
What is in this
across
book will not help
Normandy,
me more than the answers I can find
over
in
the
my own
sea,
heart.
and all the way to Kingsbridge.
There is much to contemplate, but not now.
Okay.
Devout Christians have given money.
Hi.
This
What is he doing there? Don't know him.
of Kingsbridge.
Tapestry
I will
hides,
tell you
white
again,
cover. Very
dear
simple
brothers
cloth.
and sisters. The Weeping Madonna has chosen you.
Wood looks
All
old
of
and
you.
jaded, invisible from the front.
You must be thinking, how can he be so sure? In the beginning, I was not. I only had my faith.
I am
I knew
Philip.
not her
Who are
powers
you,
or
young man?
destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles. I could have
Why are you
continued
hiding?
to carry her from town to town until my flesh succumbed. But this was not
That's
her
not fit
will.
for a shrine.
But I wondered.
Nothing but
shrine should
make-believe?
be her shelter.
Find all telling clues. Okay. Also, let me just save real quick.
This time, now.
Nothing
Brothers
sacred
and
about
sisters,
this.
I have heard
Old rags, very
that
unlike the
life
front.
has not been kind to Kingsbridge.
Okay.
But it
Should
is
we
in
expose
place-
them?
And along the road, from Paris, across... Can you feel it? Brothers and sisters, you are about to witness a miracle. The Madonna knows how you have suffered. The Virgin Mother had to witness the rise and fall of her Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, and never stopped believing. Kingsbridge has endured many hardships. Prior James left you before his time when you needed him the most. Your old cathedral was burned to the ground.
How do you know this?
And your new one collapsed even before construction was finished. You have suffered the ruthless destruction of your market, homes, and lives.
Dada.
All of you
Dada.
have lost husbands, wives, and children, family and friends.
Dada.
All of you know how it is to be hungry and afraid. But
Jack. Aliena.
Philip.
But this is...
A miracle, isn't it? Or something along those lines.
But how?
We thought it was time to give Tommy a home.
The boy? Your boy?
Well, Philip? Do you recognize him? Our little Tommy?
Tommy? But... It's been almost 3 years since I last saw you, Jack. Where on earth did you find him?
I'd almost given up looking for him. Then Tommy found him.
And you decided to come back.
Well, this is our home, after all.
Then what on earth is all this? This miracle?
With the Madonna, we were able to collect donations for your priory and for Kingsbridge.
Really?
We can start anew. We can rebuild the cathedral.
What's the catch?
I'll get to be master builder.
Why?
I've studied the cathedrals, churches, and houses they build in France and Spain. I saw how different their constructions were, with new shapes, colors, and ideas. Oh, you should have seen it. They combined rib vaulting and pointed arches. I want to do that. That's why.
Why here?
Because this is home.
Condemn their lies? What lies? About the Madonna?
The townspeople probably think that's enough to build a whole cathedral. But to me, it looks like about £100. You know, that won't even pay for a year's work.
Like all of this, it's a symbol. Enough for a fresh start.
And the Madonna will stay here. Kingsbridge will attract visitors and donations again.
You mean I should be thankful for these lies and tricks?
Jack! Aliena! You came back!
Where's
We wanted
Alfred,
to
by
see
the
you,
way?
little
Is he
sister.
with William?
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. But look at you. And the little one.
Tommy,
How are the others?
Alfred left Kingsbridge. Catface shows up every now and then. And Ellen returned to the forest.
we need to visit her.
What's wrong, Mother?
I'm glad you're back.
I am too. Very glad.
She looks like she's about to cry.
She will weep for your suffering, Kingsbridge. She knows your pain.
What now?
The miracle.
Her eyes are wet.
Her eyes.
Look at her.
They're shining.
She cannot hold her tears any longer.
She is made of wood. It's impossible.
Why are you weeping? She's mute ever since her husband died.
The Madonna has suffered as I have. She understands.
It seems through her faith in all of your lies, Mary has found a miracle. We can't keep trying to repair Kingsbridge by ourselves. Things are not improving. We're struggling to keep things as they are.
But we can't afford to hire help.
Without farming and fairs, we're back to Prior James's time.
All these past years, my advice was good enough for you. But it appears you've changed your mind now, again.
It is time we started doing something to wake up and make Kingsbridge what it used to be. We did before, and we can do it again.
I'm not willing to accept a risk like that. Don't you remember what happened last time? My, how easily we forget.
I remember well.
And still, you put your trust into a group of random strangers to make things better.
They're not strangers.
Philip, why in God's name have you stood by and let this happen? They're tricking us into giving them money for false idols.
They are giving us money.
So that we'll place this idol in our priory? Do you approve of this?
No, I don't approve of their deception. The Madonna is a trick, no miracle. But the people have already decided, and I won't take away the hope they found. Did you not see what happened to Mary?
I saw. And I see that you intentionally turn a blind eye to the lies of your friends. I'm warning you. I cannot support a crier who tolerates heresy.
Your threat won't sway me. No matter how unconventional, their return and their gift are a blessing.
You made your decision, Philip of Gwynedd. And now, I make mine. I resign. I'm leaving the Priory.
Oh, all the bad people are gonna bunch up together, right? Alfred and William and Regis. And there's gonna be one epic showdown. I don't actually quite remember how the book ends, because it's been a while since I've read it.
You got so big,
Seems to
Tommy.
be going that way.
And you're just as shy as your father was.
Don't let him fool you. Usually, he's always up to something.
They're visiting Ellen now.
Tom would have been proud of you. Of both of you.
Is she still here?
Hmm?
Tom's wife.
Oh, no. Martha and I moved her to Kingsbridge. She's with Tom now. He always wanted that.
Ellen, we found
Agnes.
Jack's family in Cherbourg.
The place he came from wasn't Cherbourg, it was Cherbourg.
Really? What were they like?
They were good people.
His grandmother said Jack looked just like him, like his father.
He does. But they never came for him or asked about him.
They thought he was dead. His ship sunk. He'd always wanted to go to England.
Have you ever heard of the White Ship?
No.
The king's family drowned.
My father was there. He was the only one who survived.
Not for long.
You told me that he was accused of stealing a chalice.
Yes. But I know he was innocent. I heard the story and had to find out what he looked like.
Oh, we know that,
He told
Sal.
me his name. I fell in love. I helped him escape. But in the end, they caught up with us.
What happened then?
They hanged him.
Oh, Ellen.
I was there. And you were there, Jack. But you weren't born yet. He was led to the gallows. Everyone was quiet. The people somehow knew he was not a thief. But I knew for sure. He told me. He was so afraid. He didn't want to die. I didn't want him to die. And I prayed. Then I heard his voice. Quiet.
Sang sweeter than ever, as if the falling melody might wing and net dissever. At dusk the hunter took his prey, the lark his freedom net.
No! No!
You said that 3 men were responsible for Father's death.
Who were they?
The Sheriff of Shiring, Percy Hamley, Prior James of Kingsbridge, and Archdeacon Waleran Bygod. They showed no mercy. Neither did I. I curse you! All of you! He will return to haunt you! One day, you will be judged for what you did.
Oh, I
Your
remember
houses
this.
shall be consumed by fire. Your life shall end in pain and agony. You shall grow old in sadness and regret.
They restructured their narrative quite a bit. Because that's, I think, the opening scene of the book.
They killed will return to haunt them. I promised them.
We welcome our new prior, Remigius. He helped to recover the bones of the Saint of Kingsbridge, Adolphus, from the hands of thieves. Adolphus already rests safely in this great cathedral of Shiring. Our master builder Alfred promised me that it will only be a matter of a few years until the cathedral will be finished. And the Earl of Shiring has promised to support us. But he has not done so for himself. No, the Earl is not a selfish man. His mother, Lady Hamley, is sick. More and more, I feel the whole of England is suffering from a sickness. The sickness of war, poverty, and most of all, heathen beliefs. I have spoken to God. I asked him, begged him to walk amongst us, to heal us. But God told me that only when this great cathedral is finished will he have a temple to reside in. No matter the cost, this shall be a towering castle to protect us from evil and false beliefs. With this cathedral, we will bring an end to the dark times.
Waileran, by God!
Jack? What are you doing here?
Not a lot of stuff for
My
me to
father
interact with
died by your hands, Waileran.
lately.
His name was Jacques Cherbourg.
How dare you talk to the bishop like that?
He died right here!
Who are you?
I know that man. He's that bastard from Kingsbridge.
That man is my husband.
You?
All of you, listen to what we have to say. From now on, Kingsbridge is protected.
By our knights, by our walls, and by the word of the king.
So whatever you do, we will defend our town. Our market and fulling mills.
And our cathedral, which we shall rebuild. All workers are invited to come and work for us.
Preposterous.
If you so much as try to bring harm to us, Bishop, we will make sure that you pay for everything you did.
Cool. Ooh, that was the entire chapter. Alright. That was a very quick one in comparison to the last one, which lasted almost 3 episodes. Or which lasted 3 episodes, and this one merely lasted 1. So what I did... I helped Jonathan plant a new tree. You felt your first sermon in a long time. You disapproved the deception of the Madonna, but came to see that it gives people hope. And Aliena and Jack have returned to Kingsbridge. Very cool. We'll continue with book 3, chapter 17, in the next episode. See you then. Bye bye.